In this video, I'm gonna show you a weed that's taken over America, and I'm gonna show you how to kill it. Well, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but this weed will be all over people's yard in the springtime, and it could actually hang around longer than that. So let me show you the weed. I'm gonna show you how to kill it and show you a bunch of different ways to kill it, just how easy it is. And this is not only how to kill this weed, but this can show you how to kill a lot of weeds that are gonna show up in a lawn. Today's video is sponsored by Yardbook. If you need a software for your lawn care business, use the one I've been using since 2015. Go to yardbook.com and sign up for a free account. All right, Jason, what's the weed that's taking over America? Let me show it to you right now. You guys that watch in New Zealand and the UK and Australia, let me know if this weed is taking over the world so I can change the name of the video here. But this is it. Look at it. Taking over. I told you it's taking over. I mean, how many is there? I could probably count 1,000 in my own yard, possibly, I don't know, hundreds at least. But this is American burnweed. Now let me tell you a little bit about American burnweed. We're gonna spray American burnweed in this video, and I'm gonna show you how to absolutely dominate it. But it's good to understand the weed first before we eliminate from the yard. So, American burnweed, what to know? This weed shows up just about every year in my area. I'm in Alabama. This video is being filmed in April, and this is about the time when this weed starts showing up. Now, again, if you live further south, warmer weather, it may show up in March. You live further north, maybe it's gonna show up in May, I don't know. But for me, it's usually in April. And what happens is, usually about the time we start cutting the grass, and we're dealing with warm season grasses here, you start to see the American burnweed. What's tricky about this weed, just like Jason, why is this an annual weed? I thought if we put out a pre-emergent, we wouldn't have the annual weeds in our lawn. I put out a pre-emergent in the fall, I put out a pre-emergent early in the year. Why do I still have American burnweed in the yard? And you can just call it burnweed. I think there's other names people use for it as well. The way the story goes about burnweed is that the seed actually germinates in the thatch instead of down in the soil. So what does that mean? Well, your pre-emergent gets down there and it binds with the soil and it's going to kill the weed right when it starts to germinate. But with these germinating in the thatch, it's not able to stop a lot of that. Now, I've found that by using Spectacle Flow, which is a pre-emergent that a lot of people use down here with warm season grasses, that it seems to eliminate a lot of the burnweed versus Prodiamine or Dimension, which is a couple other popular pre-emergents that people use. So the Dimension seems to work on it to some degree, but that's why it's tough to prevent with the pre-emergent or get ahead of, maybe I should say, is because of it germinating in the thatch. And it can multiply like crazy. Not multiply, but there's just tons of them. And I don't know how many, where the seeds are coming from, but I'm talking about can be thousands in one yard. I'm gonna walk across the yard and show you some more burnweed in another area just to show you what it looks like, and you can picture the entire yard being like this, because it will. I mean, you'll go out there and it looks like they have planted burnweed in their yard. I was out here cutting grass today and you see this, it's just now starting to turn green. I thought, wait a minute, I'm not gonna cut this section because I want people to see what I see when you come up on some yards. So you get an area like this and look what you got. I mean, it's just burnweed for days. I mean, it's just a burnweed forest over here. And it'll shoot up from nothing to looking like that in about a week's time. I mean, it'd be tiny. And you can see over here where I cut the burnweed. I mowed it here, but there it is. I mean, it's just, this is what it looks like. And it's all over the yard. That's not the only weed in the yard. You got yellow wood sorrel there. Looks like a, what do you call it? Hairy bittercress still hanging around. That looks like somebody planted a watermelon or something. I don't know what that is. You got some geranium, but you can see the burnweed. So this is what we're gonna do. I've got several products that we're gonna spray. We're gonna show which one works the best on getting rid of burnweed and show how fast it can work. And so let's get busy killing the burnweed. I'm gonna show you the products. We'll spray it and we'll come back and check on the results. Now, as I'm walking over to introduce the products, let me just say this. You say, Jason, I don't have all these products to spray. I'm gonna test some products that are very simple and show you how to do it. But burnweed, the good thing about it is, often if you'll just mow your grass a couple of times, then you'll significantly reduce the burnweed population. Burnweed does not like lawnmowers, so just mow your grass. Okay, I'm not saying if you do that, there might not be some more come up or whatever, but if you mow it 2 or 3 times, I think the burnweed population is going to take a major hit and it'll go away quickly. Now, if you don't mow it at all, that burnweed is going to hang around for quite some time. The other thing I want to mention is weeds typically die faster when the weather warms up. So if it's cool, it may be a little slower. If it's on a warm day, you may get this burnweed wilting within 24 hours. Now, I'm spraying this on a day when the high was in the 60s, which is a little unusually cool right now. And it's actually going down in the 40s tonight. So it may be a little slower, but I think we're still going to get some fast results. All right, now some of this is just to expose you to some of the different products that I use to help educate you on that. You don't have to have all these products, but I'm just going to try out a bunch of different products. I'm not trying out this many. Some of these are combined together. But just wanted to show you some products to give you an example of what you can use. All right, let's start over here. We've got Change Up. This is a product that I use a lot. Pardon the sirens in the background. Change Up is a broadleaf weed control product. You can use it on warm season grasses, I believe some cool season grasses, and it is excellent. Now this 2.5 gallon jug is what I buy. You can get it in a smaller quantity, and I'll typically mix 3/4 of an ounce to 1 gallon of water in one of these 2 gallon sprayers. So in 2 gallons, I'm gonna mix 1.5 ounces of Change Up with a little bit of surfactant. And I do have surfactant in all of these products. Maybe with the exception of one. So the other thing I want to say is I've started buying the battery powered sprayers. I used to have a lot of these Smith sprayers, the pump up kind, and I bought 4 of the battery ones recently. So I can put a link in the description of that. This is the Scott's Pump Zero is what they call it. Or yeah, I think it's that same Smith company. They look the same. There's just got the Pump Zero handle on it, and I get tired of pumping up the sprayer, so you just push the button, it pumps up itself, and they are great. All right, so I got Change Up. So what I'm gonna do is I've actually got Change Up with methylfuron, which is another product named Manor. I don't have that out here to show you right now, but I use Change Up mixed up in that, but I also have it mixed up in this Ride-On spreader sprayer. So I got a little bit mixed up in here, and when I put it in here, I'll be out fertilizing. I may keep Change Up in here that if I see a weed, I can just spray it while I'm fertilizing. So I've got 16 ounces of Change Up per acre. Now when you're mixing it per acre, and 1/4 ounce of methylfuron per acre, which comes under the product named Manor, or you may say MSM Turf. I can put a link to some of these products in the description as well. But anyway, that's the combo. Going in with here is the Change Up and the methylfuron, and that combo is deadly on a lot of broadleaf weeds. Another combo I use just about all summer long, mixed up in a handheld sprayer over here, is Celsius and Certainty. Now Certainty is more for grassy weeds and also for sedges, so Kalinga, nutsedge, and also some cool season grasses in our warm season lawns. You don't want to use either one of these on a cool season lawn. Celsius is good for broadleaf weeds and has some effectiveness on grassy weeds and even a little bit on Kalinga and things like that. Blindside is another product I've got mixed up. So again, we're going to test one with the big sprayer with the Change Up methylfuron. I got another test. We're going to do Celsius Certainty, another with Blindside, which is a very versatile product. It's got sulfentrazone methylfuron, and it's going to knock it out fast. And then I've got Tribute Total and Dismiss in one mixed together. This is like my Dallas grass killer. If I got a tough grassy weed, I want to try to eliminate it from planet Earth, I put Tribute Total and Dismiss together and spray it, and it is great. It may cause a little discoloration, but for really tough grassy weeds, that's a great combination. And then just to show you that you say, Jason, I don't have all this stuff. This is Ortho Weed Be Gone. Look at it. I mean, it's embarrassing walking around with this, but just to show you that a homeowner grade product is probably going to knock this out as well. But I know I've said this before in other videos. Oftentimes people say, oh, I can't afford this. You know, Change Up, you can get a, I don't know what it is, 32 ounces for $40. I don't know what it is. But actually, when you mix it up at 3/4 an ounce per gallon of water in one of these, I think you're going to be significantly cheaper doing that than you are going and buying this. And I'm not making fun of this product. I'm just saying this is a lot more expensive. Now, you may go buy this for $6 or $7. I get that. And that may be all you need. But I'm just saying sometimes the homeowner products are actually significantly more expensive per application, even though the initial container may cost more of some of the more professional grade products. And a lot of times they got some of the similar ingredients in it, okay? So I don't have any doubt this is gonna work. So let's try these out. We'll mark some flags, we'll spray it, and we'll come back and show you how to dominate American burnweed before it takes over the entire planet. I found a bottle of the metsulfuron. So this is the manner that we're putting just 1/4 of an ounce per acre, okay? So tiny, tiny amount. Don't try to mix this in a little handheld sprayer, but when you're mixing in a big tank like my gram spray rig here, or I can mix in the ride-on, because 11 gallons roughly equals 1 acre on that. So I can just put 1/4 of an ounce in this in 11 gallons on that ride-on that sprays like a very, very small amount, okay? So this is what I'm mixing in. It's dirt cheap when you mix it like that with the change up, and that's what I'm gonna be spraying out of the big machine. I've got my gloves on, rubber gloves, rubber boots, long sleeves. Encourage you to do that. Long pants, and then this is the Weed B Gone. So we're going to start with the homeowner grade product, see how it does. I've got a lot of confidence in it. All right, this is the Celsius and Certainty combo. You can see I don't spray the weeds too heavy. I tell people all the time, I'm not trying to drown the weeds. We just want to get it wet and let the product do the work. This is the Tribute Total Dismiss combo. Next up, we're going to spray blindside. Now on the last one, I'm gonna be riding my machine. This give you an example like what it might look like when I'm out spraying yards. Again, I might be out fertilizing, or I might have a customer call and their yard's totally covered in burnweed, so I can ride the machine and spray it. I can fertilize and spray at the same time. And depending on the yard, I might use a big Z spray or use this particular machine we're using today. So anyway, I'm gonna ride over and just spray a section of this last section. It's gonna be kind of a real fine mist, but trust me, it's gonna work. We got it all sprayed, and I'll tell you this too, it's supposed to rain here in a few hours, so that'll be another determining factor. I'm not concerned about that at all. I want you to see that cooler weather with rain coming, and we'll check on how well these products work. Does one work better than the others? How fast does it work? We'll be able to learn all that by the end of the video. It's been 3 days since I sprayed the weeds. Let's see what they look like now. We got down to around 40 degrees 2 nights, but up in the day, it's been getting up decent in the 70s, so anyway, let's see the results. So this one is the one, I guess we're going maybe in reverse order. This is the one that sprayed with the change up in the metsulfuron with the ride-on spreader sprayer. See, we're getting some little bit of wilting, a little bit of discoloration, nothing to get too excited about, to be honest with you. Of course, tons of unsprayed burnweed. And then what we got here? Blindside. So the ones that's got the sulfitrazone in it, you're going to get that serious burn effect, real quick results. Even that onion there, probably not going to fare too well, but you can see what it's looking like. Some worse than others. And then over here, well, you see the ones that were mowed. Some of them are trying to grow back a little bit, putting out a little new green leaf there. This one, the third one, Tribute Total and sulfitrazone, so it's got the dismiss again. Dismiss is the sulfitrazone is the active ingredient in dismiss. So you see what that, again, just like the blindside, you're gonna get that quick burn effect when you have sulfitrazone in there. Celsius and Certainty, kind of boring. I think in a day or two it's gonna really speed up. And then the last, the Weed B Gone, hanging in there, doing something. Let yourself stand up and be recognized. So there you go, doing all right too. So we'll give this a little bit more time to see if we can see some more dramatic results. I think it's been 6 days since we originally sprayed the weed. Let me show you what it looks like and see if we can stop the nationwide plague of this particular weed. So I told you we had a little weed problem. You think burnweed could take over a yard? Look what it looks like underneath this tree where it hadn't been sprayed. I mean, this is American burnweed. You see somebody's yard looks like this. It can, sure enough, dominate. Sorry, I got a weeping willow branch in the way. Just wanted to give you a perspective of American burnweed. And let's start and see what it looks like. Now, first off, this is the one we sprayed with the ride-on machine, the change up in the metsulfuron. And you can see, doing a good job. And the good news is, even though it's not like completely wilted up, if you mow that with a lawnmower, I would bet a lot of money that it's not going to grow back. So it's done the damage, the weed's not growing back. Again, mowing several times can do it. Matter of fact, let's check on the one that we did just mow. You compare those that we just saw under the tree versus what was cut with a lawnmower. And you see it's not nearly as bad. I mean, it is growing back, but you mow it a couple times, you're gonna put a serious dent in the population. Next up, we do have one that seems like obliterated it off the map, and that is the blind side. So you see what it did. I mean, look at that. So when you put the metsulfuron, I'm sorry, that's metsulfuron, but the sulfitrazone is what gets you that, sure enough, burn down. So if you want to look like that, go with the blind side. Though I promise you the change up metsulfuron combo did great as well. Next up, another complete domination, tribute total on dismiss. Now this one will give you a little bit of discoloration in Bermuda, but not much. But look at what it did. Look at there. That's the burnweed. That's the burnweed. That's the burn. 6 days, just completely dominated it. Next up, what was this? Celsius Certainty combo, gonna be similar kind of to our change up. Not nearly as visible, but if you run over that with a lawnmower, it's not growing back. And then last up, weed be gone. Come on now, come on, weed be gone. It's not gone, but it's definitely sick and wilted. Again, mow it with a lawnmower. I feel very confident not growing back. Even that other weed over there, whatever that was. So, very effective results. So what we learned in the video, if you've got American burnweed, it can really take over a lawn in the spring. It's hard to stop because sometimes it germinates in the thatch, so that's why your pre-emergence may not be super effective on it, but it's easy to kill once you got it in the lawn. We tried out 5 different plots here. All 5 were successful, some more visible than others, but all 5 can take out this weed. So it's not a hard weed to kill, maybe a hard weed to get ahead of with your pre-emergent. Of course, mowing the grass does help as well. Thanks for watching. If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel. I've got a ton of videos. I've been on YouTube for a long time. If you want to get in weed control and fertilization like me or start a mowing business, you can go to lawncarelife.com. There's resources there, video courses, things like that. It's also where you'll find information about the 2025 Lawn Care Life Conference. We'll see you guys in the next video.